check, 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with Podcast 111, and today we have the 5 questions sent in by investors. And remember, if you have a question, send it to support@bsffacademy.com. Here we go. Question number 1. Got a possible deal working. Congratulations, by the way. But the house has a Section 8 tenant in the property. I'm unsure if there is any leases in place currently. Is there anything else I should know about Section 8 tenant that is difficult than regular tenants? I would either buy them out of the lease or have to keep it until the lease runs out. You know, great question. I am not a landlord guy, yuck. Although I am starting to be a landlord. And here's my rule. Can I get this? This is kind of cool. Here's my rule. If I can get my money back in 24 months, so if the rent payment pays me back the entire cost, not just the money that I put into it, but the entire purchase price of the property, then I'm going to buy that property and I'm going to become the yucky landlord that I hate in myself. But I've absolutely decided that I'm going to put that in my arsenal. So if any of you folks out there have a deal that can be rented out, and the rent, the normal rent, the rent roll will pay that property off in 24 months, I'm absolutely your buyer. So just call me up and say, Mike, I got this thing and it will absolutely perform. Because I'm going to buy all those I can buy. Let's face it, people. If you can get, in fact, I bought one where I'm going to get paid back in 12 months. 12 months I got one. I mean, this is like, tickle me. I feel great. Although I think it's yucky. So, not that I feel great is yucky, but the landlord thing is yucky. But, you know, I'm doing it. I'm thinking, you know, if I can get a house and I can get my money back and the entire cost of the purchase of the property, I can get paid back in 12 months, 24 months. It's mine. There's not even any question about it. But as far as Section 8, I have no clue. I'm not a guy for Section 8, so I'm sorry, I can't help you there. Question number 2. Let's say someone could write a list of local potential private money investors, not knowing most of them. Could there be a direct mail letter to spark their interest? Would confidence be the key or a track record of success? Got to be careful sending letters out to folks that you don't know about private money. Okay? You can start talking to people once you know them, once you've had contact with them about what you need to do with private money, but to solicit them may be a violation of the SEC. And keep in mind, a lot of investors are private money lenders. So, you know, if you send out a bunch of postcards to people who call themselves absentee owners, and they call you and say, hey, I don't have a house to sell, well, you got to ask them a question, right? Because now now you know them. You're talking to them on the phone, right? You're having a conversation with them. You got to ask them a question. Are you a buyer? No, I'm not really looking for any more myself. Oh, you're not? Do you ever do any private funding? Yeah, every once in a while I do. Yeah, what do you got kind of stuff. You got to do that, right? I mean, here we're so used to, do you have a house you want to sell? And they go, no. And they'll go, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry. I stop wasting my time and hang up on them. Well, maybe we take it a little bit further and go, hey, have you thought about adding to your portfolio of real estate investments? No, we're not thinking about it at the moment. Great. If I got you a good deal, could I call you? Oh, yeah, if you got a good deal, call me. All right, cool. Do you do any private funding? No, I haven't really thought about it. Well, if I could, get a good deal and I need private funding on, can I call you? Absolutely, call me kind of stuff. So we got to do that, right? Right? Really, right. We got to do those things. So that's what I do. I just wait for the normal call that came in from my normal absentee owner marketing kind of stuff and fall forward. Question number 3. I'm getting ready for mailing number 2 to send out some yellow letters. Can you please recommend the best performer from the options available on your website? Yep, yellow letter number 1. It's, Dear John, hi, this is Michael. I want to buy your house at this address. Please call this phone number. Thank you, Michael, with the phone number kind of stuff. And it looks like a kindergartner wrote it, and I wouldn't respond to it, but I'm not my candidate. See, that's one of the things we all get caught up in, is like, we think we're our prospects. We're not. Our prospects are somebody else. They don't have the mind that we have. So, you can overanalyze and analyze and analyze and, make it cute and beautiful. And man, you could take it to all your friends who are just like you, and they're going to, yeah, that looks cute what you designed. But your friends aren't your candidate either. Man, we need to stop trying to reinvent the wheel. We know what works. I mean, I've spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars determining what works, and just use what works. Stop reinventing it. And every once in a while, I'll go back on the production floor of Yellow Letters and look through some of the stuff that we do back there. It's like, man, what were they smoking, or what were they doing when they came up with this idea? But as a Yellow Letter owner, my job isn't to tell someone they shouldn't do something. My job is to fulfill what they want us to do. Now, if they ask my opinion, I'm first going to say, are you sure you want it? And if they say, yes, I really do, then I'm going to give them my opinion. But I'm not going to, say you can't, send something out with what makes no sense in the real estate investment world to someone and try to get them to call you. And, and then after you don't get any calls, you call us back up and say, did the letters go out or the postcards go out? And yeah, they went out. Yeah, they sure did. But they some things you just shouldn't do. Some things you just rely on Yellow Letter number 1 that works. It's going to blow the phone up. Be prepared for it. Fall for it. And here's the deal about Yellow Letter number 1. I'm getting long-winded today. I apologize. I guess it's because I've been on vacation and still on vacation, but came in to do this. And I have a coaching call in a few minutes that I promised a guy that needed some help on on Thursday. Today's Thursday. And, it's when you get those calls on those Yellow Letters, because you're going to get in them in abundance, and some of them aren't going to want to sell their house. Some of them are going to want to say, take me off the list. I'm not ready to sell. Some of them are going to want to know what you wanted to pay for the house. But remember what you've got that no one else does, besides courage to send out the mail in the first place. But what you've got that no one else does is their phone number. And if you don't take that phone number and utilize it for the betterment of you and that seller, because they're going to sell sometime. Remember, we have a touch program. Shame on us. Shame on you. And you have something that no one else does. You have the phone number to a seller who has equity and the property qualifies to be bought. Man, that's dynamite, man. You could go to a text service, just give you an idea. You could go to a text service, determine if that's a cell phone number or landline. If it's a cell phone number, you can send that person your business card once a month. Very politely on their cell phone, they send them a picture of your business card once a month. They have all the right in the world to enter stop when they get it, and they won't ever get any more. You have the right to call that person at 15, 30, 60, and 90. Follow up. I know you called me last month and you weren't interested in selling. Just wondering if you were any closer to selling your house now. You aren't. Terrific. Well, have a wonderful day. Do you know anybody that's looking to sell a house? You do. Thank you. Can I get their phone number from you? There you go. But you've got something. Utilize it. I could preach that one all day long.
Thanks for listening to Buy, Sell, Fix, Flip. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through Yellow Letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started, and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 4. I noticed in one of the daily deals that the seller found you via website. What are you doing online and how's it going? Well, we I just said You know, ums are what we call weak words, and everybody has a weak word. It's when you say something rather than not saying something. So you say like, okay, should never do that in a conversation because it makes you look weak. So rather than saying a weak word, you just don't talk. And I just had a weak word. We all have them. We try to train ourselves not to use weak words. And when we do, we sound so much more intelligent. And I don't have enough intelligence to go around, so I guess I use my weak words. So this did it again. What we do in the pay-per-click is I have my budget with Google is $1,500 a day, and my budget with Bing, and Bing filters to Bing, Yahoo, AOL, and I think one more. My budget there is $1,000, and I can't spend either of those amounts if I turn it on. And I do it nationwide. And I'm always trying to get 1 through 3 positioning. And I have probably 90 keyword phrases, and then I have 8 or 9 different ads, because your ads have to fit your keyword group. Like if one of your keywords is sell your house quick, well, your ad has to be built around, sell your house quick. And if it's sell it for cash fast, then you have to have fast cash in your ad, kind of stuff. But anyway, what we do there is by a certain time, because I'm systemized, so by a certain time, I'll start seeing what our phone lines are doing in the day. Or I'll know from like 2 days before, or the day before, 3 days before, we didn't send mail for some reason, whatever it was. Like I didn't send an email this week because it's the worst week in the calendar, or one of the worst weeks in the calendar to send mail. So you never send mail this week. And we told a lot of folks, don't send mail this week. Some of them still said, I want to send my mail. It's not going to work, but they're going to send and spend their money. So I didn't send any mail. So I know that probably on Monday, I'm going to turn on my pay-per-click to boost my call volume. Although they're not calls necessarily. I do get a certain percentage of calls, but mainly what I get is I get website form fill outs. And that goes, it's pretty seamless because it feeds to our Outlook program, and our Outlook program feeds to our CRM program. And then all this stuff happens around our call center stations. So the Alexes will see this email come through. They'll see everything that they need to see about, the guy's name or the gal's name, the property address, email address, telephone number. It's forced itself into my CRM automatically. And now we're just going to call them right back. So it's pretty simple and pretty seamless. The problem with pay-per-click, and there's not a lot of problem with it, but the problems that I see with it is you really have to be on top of it. So if you have a day job and you're going to do pay-per-click, that's probably not going to work for you, because these pay-per-click people, they're filling out 2 and 3 and 4 forms. I mean, they're on the internet, they're searching for it. There's 15,000 websites they can go to and fill out a form, and people typically stop at 3 or 4, and it's whoever gets back to them fast enough. And I want instant results, so I want that urgency kind of thing. And so we notice that we've got to really be on those when we get them in, and we get them a lot in. It's just a horrible amount, not a horrible amount, like bad horrible, but horrible as in good horrible. If there could be a good horrible, in this case, I think there is. So the thing about it is you got to be really on them. You got to be proactive. You got to be following up on that stuff. But they're dynamite quality because they know what we do. They know that they're going to an investor to buy the house. So they're already pre-programmed to discount, which is great. Something that mail doesn't give us. But here's what we don't know about them. We don't know a lot about, like, is that an area we want to buy in? We don't have our infrastructure set up in those areas, because I'm buying all across the country. And, it's one thing when I mail to Sacramento and Stockton and Bakersfield and Arizona and LA and Tennessee and Louisiana and Houston and Beaumont and South Carolina, North Carolina, gosh, wherever else I'm mailing to. But it's another thing when you all over the country respond. So you've got everything from New York to Philadelphia to Miami to, I mean, it's so scattered that you don't have infrastructure set up in those places, although you have an opportunity. So the cost of the time to set up that infrastructure once you have the opportunity back, the signed contract, and to get the BPO, find that BPO agent, find the appraiser to get that done, and those kinds of things take some time, where the direct mail, because we know we can market it to a certain area, we can set up our infrastructure first. But I like pay-per-click when I get slow. When I know I'm going to have a slow day or a slow half day, I'm going to turn it on. And I won't keep it on, because I'll absolutely create more opportunity than we can handle. And we have 9 Alex stations, so you can imagine the amount of stuff we did. We wrote, get this, guys. Gosh, I'm just getting long-winded. I apologize. We wrote 48 contracts last month. 48 contracts. If you wrote 48 contracts, I want to come and buy you dinner, okay? Because I just think that's an awesome number. 48. Can you imagine 48 times 12? I know what 50 times 12 is 600, and 2 times 12 is 24. So I know we did 5. If we average that for the year, that's 570, what, 576 contracts for the year. It's just awesome writing a bunch of contracts. I think everybody should. And I'll absolutely take you to dinner if you wrote 48 contracts last month. So pay-per-click is good, but it has its bad stuff too. So just know that. The biggest issue, and I'm really getting long-winded on this pay-per-click stuff, the biggest issue for you guys that are local, because most people aren't going to want to buy houses all across the country, is when I test it in the markets I want to be in. Like if I say, okay, I only want to be in Bakersfield, Southern California, Central Valley, Sacramento, the markets that I'm marketing to, I don't get much response, because Google, in their wisdom and their greed, they're putting me down like at 6, 7, and 8 on position. Well, I need to be 1, 2, and 3. And those of us that are national advertisers, we're actually spending the money. I'm willing to spend the money to be 1, 2, and 3, because I know I have the highest performance rate. And when you're local, you can't spend the money I can spend. I mean, you can't, because Google, you can't spend it anyway. I mean, even if you were 1, 2, and 3 and you're local, Google can't get all the money that you say you're going to spend and give them. Where Google says, hey, if Mike's going to give me $1,500 today, we're going to put him up at 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to grab his money as fast as we can. So in their greed and their wisdom, it's really kind of unfair for the local marketplace. But for the national marketplace, it's great. So take that in consideration too. Question number 5, is your return on investment online similar to the return you get on direct mail? It is. Get another pay-per-click question. My return on my money in direct mail is about about half the rate that I get on my return of my pay-per-click. So if a lead costs me, or an opportunity cost is $30, it's going to be like $16 on pay-per-click, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. Yeah, but I still know that at the end of the day, I'm always going to be mail first, because for me it's a better system. Now, I can't wait for the day when I have 50 Alexes, and I can absorb the amount of work that Google and the pay-per-click and mail running in unison will afford me. But I'm not there yet. I'll be there, by the end of the year, but I'm not there now. And so, yes, the online investment for me, because I'm a national investor, is pretty good. Local investor would be crappy. Hope I can say crappy on iTunes. I just said it twice. So you just understand that, all this stuff requires infrastructure. And, there's one thing about being able to make the phone ring or make opportunity happen. It's another thing to be able to capture it, fulfill it, finance it, resell it, systemize it. And we work really, 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 really hard here on a daily basis to tweak systems, to magnify and multiply as much as we can, to take what we have and grow it. And we really look at all five facets. And, there's the marketing facet, there's the capture facet, there's the resale facet, there's the money facet, and there's the system facet of the business. And you really have to have all of them working, because if one's not working well or one's overworking, then the other four are going to suffer because of it. And, we're finding that out now when we look at being able to, we're marketing, we're capturing, and our fulfillment of the financing. Some of that is getting in our way because we only have so much money, kind of stuff. And if I didn't think I was going to go out and buy almost 500 houses this year, so that's a little tough on me, my ego. But we'll get through it. And once we get through it, then after you buy 500 of them, then you're going to have some rollover. And you can't spend that kind of money. I guess you could spend that money, but I already own a Bentley, so not going to spend too much. So when we do our rollovers, as those occur, then the funding part of the business gets easier. But then as we do that, then our growth pattern, because I think we're in about a 2.5 year, 3 cycle of growth. So there's not any reason not to put on those 50 Alexes. And then what do we do? We're going to be buying 3,000-4,000 houses a year. And I know some of you that are going to listen to that are going to say it's impossible. It's highly possible. In fact, my IT guy is on vacation, but when he comes back, we're actually going to take the Alex room, and it's not pretty. It's just a bunch of people in it, and put a camera on it so you guys can actually see it on the internet. I don't know anybody that's kind of like really kind of boring stuff, but someone will enjoy that and see what a place that does a lot of volume looks like. A bunch of us just running around looking like we're chickens with our head cut off. Anyway, we're going to be doing that too. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the opportunity. And remember, guys and gals, if you want to hear us do deals and the real live conversations we have with sellers and how we're getting sellers to say yes to lower values and the scripts that we go through, you've got to be signing up for those daily deals. It's $49.97 a month. We post a new deal every day, and I'm not listening to the deals. I don't tell them what to post or what not to post. And some of them are exciting, some of them are normal, some of them are extremely unusual, and I think you'll learn a lot from them. So you may want to check that out. And I appreciate everybody that listens to me ramble on and allows me to have the podcast up. It's been a while since someone said they liked it, so if anybody is still enjoying this thing, jump on iTunes and say you are. Makes me feel good about myself. And we'll go from there. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.